Welcome, weary traveler, to this quiet harbor of rest, a sanctuary where the gentle currents of time will carry you away from the day's demands and into a realm of tranquil slumber. Allow your body to settle deeply, feeling the soft embrace of your bed, the subtle support beneath you, as if you are gently cradled by the earth itself. Release any lingering tension from your shoulders, letting it melt away like morning mist, flowing down your arms and out through your fingertips, leaving them light and free. Let your breath become a soft, rhythmic tide, ebbing and flowing, a soothing whisper in the stillness of the night, guiding you further into this peaceful space. With each slow, deliberate exhalation, imagine releasing a tiny fragment of worry, watching it drift away into the vast, calming expanse of the night sky, becoming nothing more than a distant, forgotten star. Allow your mind to quiet, like a still pond reflecting the moonlight, its surface unrippled by thought, simply observing, simply being. Tonight we embark upon a gentle journey through the annals of history, a whispered exploration of remarkable lives, discovering curious details and fascinating facets of individuals who shaped a young nation. Their stories unfolding like ancient tapestries, woven with threads of time and wonder. Let these narratives, delivered with a soft, lulling rhythm, become the gentle waves that rock you into a profound and restorative sleep, a deep, dreamless peace that awaits you at the journey's end. Our voyage begins with the revered figure of George Washington, a man whose very name evokes images of strength and leadership, yet whose life held many layers beyond the battlefield and the presidency. Before he ever led armies or presided over a nascent republic, George Washington was a talented surveyor, a meticulous cartographer who, with compass and chain, helped map out vast, untamed parts of Virginia. Imagine him, a young man, perhaps in his late teens or early 20s, traversing dense forests, fording rushing streams, and climbing rugged hills, his keen eyes observing the contours of the land, his steady hand meticulously charting its features. He would have spent countless days under the wide open sky, feeling the earth beneath his sturdy boots, listening to the rustle of leaves and the distant calls of unseen birds, his mind focused on the precise angles and distances that would bring order to the wilderness. This early experience instilled in him a deep understanding of the land, its challenges, and its potential, a practical wisdom that would serve him well throughout his extraordinary life, grounding him in the very soil of the country he would one day help to forge. His surveying work was not merely a job, but a foundational experience, shaping his perception of space and territory, and perhaps even his methodical approach to problem solving, a quiet dedication to detail that underpinned his later, grander achievements. And then, in a surprising turn, after his monumental service to the nation, after the arduous years of war and the weighty responsibilities of the presidency, George Washington embraced a rather unexpected endeavor. He became a very successful distiller, producing large quantities of whiskey at Mount Vernon. Picture the tranquil estate, no longer just a plantation of tobacco and wheat, but also a hub of industrious fermentation, the air perhaps carrying the sweet, earthy scent of grain and yeast. It was a remarkably profitable venture for him in his retirement, a testament to his entrepreneurial spirit and his practical understanding of agriculture and commerce. This was not merely a small personal hobby, but a significant operation, producing thousands of gallons annually, making him one of the largest distillers of his time. It reveals a different side of the legendary leader, a man who, even in his later years, found satisfaction in the tangible creation of a product, overseeing the careful processes of mashing, fermenting, and distilling, transforming raw ingredients into something valued and sought after. This quiet, industrious pursuit at Mount Vernon, a world away from the clamor of politics, offers a glimpse into his personal life. A man still engaged, still contributing, still finding purpose in the rhythms of his beloved estate. Moving forward in time, we encounter John Adams, the second president, a man of profound intellect and unwavering principles, who holds the distinction of being the first president to actually live in the White House. Imagine the scene, a grand, unfinished edifice, still echoing with the sounds of construction. Its walls perhaps not yet fully plastered, its grand rooms awaiting their final furnishings. He and his wife, Abigail, moved into this imposing yet incomplete presidential mansion in November of 1800, a testament to their pioneering spirit and their commitment to the new capital city. The building was a symbol of the young republic's aspirations, and their residence within its still raw confines marked a significant moment in American history, establishing the tradition of the presidential home. Abigail famously wrote of drying laundry in the East Room, a charming detail that humanizes the grand scale of the building and the momentousness of their move. Their presence there, amidst the dust and the promise, solidified the physical heart of the American presidency, a place that would, over centuries, bear witness to countless decisions and historic events, all beginning with the Adams family's intrepid arrival. And in a poignant twist of fate, John Adams's very last words, uttered on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1826, were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." He spoke these words, believing his old friend and rival, Thomas Jefferson, was still alive, unaware that Jefferson had, in fact, passed away just hours earlier on that very same momentous day. It is a deeply moving testament to the complex and enduring bond between these two giants of American history, a friendship that had weathered political storms and personal estrangements only to find reconciliation in their later years. The thought of Adams on his deathbed, his mind still turning to his intellectual companion, speaks volumes about the profound connection they shared, a connection forged in the crucible of revolution and refined over decades of shared purpose and spirited debate. Their simultaneous departure on such a historically significant day, a day they had both helped to create, remains one of the most extraordinary coincidences in American history, a quiet, almost poetic conclusion to their intertwined legacies. Our journey continues with Thomas Jefferson, a man of boundless curiosity and multifaceted talents, whose intellect spanned philosophy, science, and the arts. He was, famously, an accomplished architect, a skill he applied with passion and precision to design his famous home, Monticello. Envision the meticulous drawings, the careful calculations, the thoughtful consideration of light and space, all springing from his own fertile mind. Monticello, perched majestically on its little mountain, is a living testament to his architectural genius, a harmonious blend of classical ideals and practical innovation, reflecting his deep appreciation for beauty, order, and functionality. Every detail, from the ingenious dumbwaiters to the skylights in the octagonal rooms, speaks of his personal touch, his constant experimentation, and his desire to create a living space that was both aesthetically pleasing and intellectually stimulating. It was not merely a house, but a lifelong project, a continuous evolution of his architectural vision, a physical manifestation of his philosophical ideals, deeply rooted in the Virginia landscape he so cherished. And in a delightful, more intimate glimpse into his life, Thomas Jefferson owned a pet mockingbird, a creature of remarkable vocal talent, that he allowed to fly freely around his study and even sit on his shoulder. Imagine the quiet studiousness of his Monticello study, filled with books and papers, occasionally punctuated by the sweet, varied melodies of his feathered companion. This charming detail paints a picture of a man who found joy in the natural world, a gentle soul who appreciated the companionship of a creature known for its intelligence and mimicry. The mockingbird, a symbol of freedom and adaptability, seems a fitting companion for such a visionary figure. Its presence, flitting about, perhaps even echoing snippets of human speech or other bird songs, would have brought a touch of lively spontaneity to his otherwise rigorous intellectual pursuits. A soft, comforting presence as he penned some of the most influential documents in American history. It reminds us that even the most profound thinkers find solace and inspiration in the simple wonders of life. Next, we encounter James Madison, often referred to as the father of the Constitution. A man of immense intellectual depth, yet physically quite unassuming. He was the shortest president, standing at only 5 feet 4 inches tall, a detail that often surprises when one considers the monumental impact of his ideas and his leadership. Imagine this diminutive figure, yet a giant in intellect and foresight, navigating the grand halls of power, his quiet demeanor belied by the power of his thoughts and the clarity of his arguments. His physical stature, though small, is a detail that does not define the magnitude of his legacy. In no way diminished his towering contributions to American political thought and the foundational documents of the nation. It serves as a gentle reminder that true influence stems not from physical presence, but from the strength of one's convictions and the enduring power of one's ideas. A quiet force shaping the very fabric of the nation. And in a delightful, more personal revelation, James Madison and his vivacious wife, Dolly, were renowned for their love of ice cream, which, in their era, was a rare and incredibly expensive delicacy. Picture the elegant White House, perhaps during one of Dolly's famous social gatherings, where this exotic dessert would have been served, a testament to their refined tastes and their enjoyment of life's finer pleasures. The preparation of ice cream in those days was an arduous process, requiring ice harvested from frozen ponds in winter, stored in ice houses, and then painstakingly churned with cream, sugar, and flavorings. It was a luxury, a symbol of sophistication and hospitality, and the Madisons, particularly Dolly, embraced it with enthusiasm, introducing this delightful treat to Washington society. This small, sweet detail offers a glimpse into their domestic life, a touch of warmth and indulgence amidst the serious affairs of state, reminding us that even the most serious historical figures found joy in simple, delicious pleasures. Our journey continues with James Monroe, the last of the founding fathers to become president, and notably, the last to wear a powdered wig, a fashion statement that was already fading from prominence by his time. Imagine him, a dignified figure, perhaps a bit anachronistic even then, with his carefully styled white wig, a relic of an earlier era, yet worn with an undeniable air of authority and tradition. His appearance would have been a visual bridge between the revolutionary generation and the new century, a living link to the very origins of the Republic. The powdered wig, a symbol of refinement and status in the 18th century, on Monroe's head represented a final, elegant bow to the traditions of the past, a quiet acknowledgement of the historical continuity he embodied as the last of that extraordinary generation to lead the nation. It's a charming detail that highlights the subtle shifts in culture and fashion, even as grand historical events unfolded. And in another charming detail that humanizes these historical figures, James Monroe had a pet parakeet named Polly that was often seen perched on his shoulder during meetings. Imagine the hushed gravitas of a presidential meeting, perhaps discussing matters of state or foreign policy, and there, perched calmly on Monroe's shoulder, is this small, colorful bird, a silent, feathered observer. Polly would have been a source of quiet companionship, a gentle presence in the often stressful environment of the presidency. It speaks to a softer, more personal side of Monroe, a man who found comfort and perhaps even a touch of whimsy in the company of a pet. This image of a president engaged in serious discourse with a parakeet on his shoulder is a delightful reminder of the human element behind the grand titles and historical events. A quiet moment of connection between a leader and his beloved companion. Next, we encounter John Quincy Adams, a man of formidable intellect and a rather unconventional personal routine. He was known to enjoy swimming nude in the Potomac River every morning, a bracing ritual that speaks to his robust constitution and his independent spirit. Picture the early dawn, the river shrouded in a soft mist, and the president, shedding the formalities of his office, plunging into the cool, refreshing waters, perhaps finding clarity and vigor in the solitary embrace of nature. This daily swim, a testament to his dedication to physical well-being and his love for the outdoors, was a personal ritual that connected him to the wildness of the landscape, far removed from the political machinations of Washington, D.C. It paints a vivid picture of a man unafraid of convention, seeking solace and strength in the simple, elemental act of swimming, a quiet moment of freedom before the demands of his high office began. And in an even more astonishing anecdote, John Quincy Adams kept a pet alligator in a bathtub in the East Room of the White House, a truly extraordinary gift from the Marquis de Lafayette. Imagine the stately East Room, typically reserved for grand receptions and formal events, now housing a live alligator in a bathtub, a testament to the president's eccentric charm and Lafayette's unusual generosity. Imagine the stately East Room, typically reserved for grand receptions and formal events, now housing a live alligator in a bathtub, a testament to the president's eccentric charm and Lafayette's unusual generosity. This unexpected inhabitant would have been a source of endless fascination and perhaps a touch of apprehension for visitors and staff alike. The image of an alligator residing in the White House is so wonderfully peculiar that it almost defies belief. Yet it speaks to a time when presidential homes were perhaps a bit less formal, a bit more personal, allowing for such delightful oddities. It adds a layer of whimsical intrigue to the life of a president often perceived as stern and intellectual, revealing a surprising openness to the unconventional and a touch of the exotic. Our journey continues with Andrew Jackson, a figure of immense popular appeal and unwavering resolve, known as Old Hickory. He famously kept a 1,400-pound block of cheese in the White House for visitors, a truly monumental display of hospitality and a testament to his populist appeal. Imagine the sheer scale of this cheese, a colossal dairy creation, perhaps dominating a corner of the East Room, inviting all who entered to partake. This great cheese, as it was known, was a gift from a New York dairy farmer and was enthusiastically consumed by thousands of visitors over several days, leaving behind a lingering aroma and a memorable tale. It was a grand, democratic gesture, a way for the president to connect directly with the common people, offering a tangible symbol of abundance and accessibility. This extraordinary block of cheese speaks volumes about Jackson's character, his larger-than-life persona, and his desire to make the White House a place for the people, not just the elite. And in a truly unforgettable anecdote, Andrew Jackson had a pet parrot that had to be removed from his funeral for swearing. Imagine the solemnity of a presidential funeral, the hushed reverence, only to be punctuated by the squawking obscenities of a parrot, a testament to its owner's colorful language and his unconventional choices in companionship. This particular parrot, named Paul, was not merely a pet, but a reflection of Jackson's own fiery personality, having apparently picked up a rather extensive vocabulary of expletives from the general himself. The scene of the bird being ushered out, its curses echoing through the reverent silence, is both shocking and hilariously humanizing, a final, unexpected burst of Jacksonian spirit at his own memorial. It's a story that perfectly encapsulates the wild, untamed spirit of Andrew Jackson, a man who lived life on his own terms, even to the very end, with his foul-mouthed feathered friend by his side. Indeed, it is said that Andrew Jackson himself taught his pet parrot to curse, and the bird's colorful vocabulary led to its removal from his funeral for swearing. This detail adds another layer to the already remarkable story of Paul, suggesting a playful, perhaps even mischievous, side to the formidable president. Picture Jackson, perhaps in a moment of relaxation, engaging with his parrot, repeating certain phrases, unaware of the lasting impression he was making on the bird's linguistic development. The image of the stern old hickory deliberately teaching his parrot to utter profanities is a wonderfully humanizing touch, a glimpse into the private life of a man who is often portrayed as unyielding and austere. It suggests a man who found amusement in the unexpected and whose influence, even on a small bird, was undeniably potent, creating a legacy of spirited language that literally outlasted him, making his funeral an event of both solemnity and surprising, avian-induced scandal. Moving on, we encounter Martin Van Buren, a shrewd politician and the first president born an American citizen, not a British subject. This seemingly simple fact marks a profound shift in the nation's identity, signifying a generation truly born into the independent United States, rather than having lived under colonial rule. His birth in 1782, after the Declaration of Independence, meant he was the first to grow up entirely within the framework of the new republic, untainted by the direct experience of British sovereignty. This distinction, though often overlooked, underscores the maturation of the American experiment, the emergence of a truly native-born leadership, shaping the future of a nation that was now firmly established on its own terms. It represents a quiet but significant turning point, a generational passing of the torch from those who fought for independence to those who inherited its promise. And in a fascinating linguistic legacy, Martin Van Buren is credited with introducing the term "okay" into the American lexicon, stemming from his nickname, Old Kinderhook. Imagine the political rallies of the 1830s, where supporters of Van Buren, who hailed from Kinderhook, New York, would form clubs called the OK Club to promote his candidacy. The abbreviation OK quickly became synonymous with approval and endorsement, a simple, catchy phrase that resonated with the public. This seemingly innocuous political slogan, born from a presidential nickname, evolved into one of the most universally recognized and frequently used expressions in the English language, a testament to the power of popular culture and political branding, even in the early days of the Republic. It's a delightful example of how the seemingly mundane details of history can have far-reaching and unexpected impacts, shaping the very way we communicate today. A quiet echo of Van Buren's political campaign, still reverberating in our everyday speech. Our narrative then turns to William Henry Harrison, a military hero whose presidency was tragically brief. He holds the unfortunate distinction of giving the longest inaugural address in history, speaking for nearly 2 hours in a bitterly cold wind, only to serve the shortest term, just 31 days. Imagine the scene on that frigid March day in 1841, a determined president delivering an extensive speech, perhaps fueled by patriotic fervor and a desire to lay out his vision, while the harsh elements relentlessly assailed him. This act of endurance, ironically, may have contributed to his untimely demise from pneumonia, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the unforeseen consequences of even the most well-intentioned actions. His presidency, a mere flicker in the grand timeline of American leadership, remains a stark and somber chapter, a powerful illustration of the unpredictable nature of fate and the fleeting passage of time. In a remarkable familial connection, William Henry Harrison's grandson, Benjamin Harrison, also became president, making them the only grandfather-grandson pair to hold the highest office. Imagine the pride, the legacy, the sense of continuity across generations as the Harrison name once again graced the White House. This unique familial succession, bridging decades of American history, speaks to the enduring influence of certain families and the powerful pull of public service. It's a testament to the idea of a family tradition, a legacy of leadership passed down through the bloodline. A quiet echo of one generation's achievements inspiring the next to similar heights. The Harrison lineage offers a fascinating glimpse into the personal dimensions of political history, a thread of continuity woven through the tapestry of American leadership. Next, we encounter John Tyler, a president whose life was marked by both political turbulence and an astonishingly large family. He had 15 children, more than any other president, a testament to a life lived with extraordinary domestic abundance. Imagine the bustling household, the constant activity, the laughter and cries of so many children filling the rooms, a vibrant, lively environment that would have been a world unto itself. This remarkable number of offspring speaks to a different era, a time when large families were more common. But even by those standards, Tyler's family was exceptionally vast. It paints a picture of a man deeply rooted in family life, surrounded by a constant stream of youthful energy and the intricate dynamics of a truly expansive clan. A personal legacy as significant and complex as his political one. And in a truly astounding generational span, John Tyler had grandchildren who were alive during the 21st century. Imagine the sheer sweep of history encompassed within a single family, a direct link from the early Republic through the tumultuous 19th and 20th centuries, right into our modern era. This incredible longevity within his descendants creates a living bridge across centuries, connecting the present day to a president who served in the 1840s. It is a remarkable testament to the passage of time, allowing for a tangible human connection to a distant past, a quiet echo of a bygone era still resonating in the lives of his living descendants. This extraordinary generational reach offers a profound sense of historical continuity, a quiet whisper from the past reaching into the present. However, John Tyler's legacy is also marked by a deeply divisive act. He was buried with a Confederate flag draped over his coffin, as he had sided with the Confederacy during the Civil War. Imagine the somber procession, the flag a stark and controversial symbol, representing a profound rupture in the nation he once led. This detail serves as a powerful and poignant reminder of the deep divisions that tore the country apart during the Civil War, and the complex, often tragic choices made by individuals caught in its maelstrom. It underscores the enduring pain and unresolved questions of that era, a quiet visual testament to a nation divided, even in death. The image of that flag, draped over the coffin of a former U.S. president, is a powerful historical artifact, speaking volumes about the personal loyalties and the profound ideological chasms of a nation in crisis, a somber note in the grand symphony of American history. Our journey continues with James K. Polk, a president known for his unwavering determination and an almost superhuman work ethic. He was renowned for often working 18-hour days, a testament to his relentless drive and his singular focus on achieving his ambitious political goals. Imagine the quiet intensity of his White House office, the flickering lamplight illuminating stacks of documents as he toiled tirelessly, day after day, driven by a profound sense of duty and a clear vision for the nation's expansion. His dedication was legendary, a relentless pursuit of his agenda, often at the expense of his own health and personal life. This image of a president consumed by his work, sacrificing personal comfort for the demands of office, paints a vivid picture of a man utterly devoted to his presidential mission, a quiet force of nature shaping the destiny of a continent. And in a remarkable display of integrity and commitment, James K. Polk promised to serve only one term and kept his word, working tirelessly and dying just 3 months after leaving office. Imagine the immense pressure, the physical and mental toll of such an intense presidency, culminating in a self-imposed limit that he honored with unwavering resolve. His single term was incredibly productive, seeing significant territorial expansion, fulfilling his campaign promises with remarkable efficiency. His death so soon after leaving office, a direct consequence of his relentless work ethic, serves as a poignant testament to his dedication, a quiet sacrifice for the nation he served with such fervor. It is a powerful story of a man who gave his all, literally, for his country, a legacy of profound commitment and selflessness that echoes through the corridors of history. Adding to his unique profile, James K. Polk was the only president who had also served as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Imagine the intricate dance of legislative politics, the art of consensus building, the strategic maneuvering required to lead the House, skills that he honed before ascending to the presidency. This experience provided him with an unparalleled understanding of the legislative process, a deep insight into the workings of government that undoubtedly contributed to his effectiveness as president. It highlights a career path that was both distinguished and unusual, demonstrating a mastery of both legislative and executive leadership, a quiet testament to his comprehensive political acumen and his profound impact on the structure of American governance. Next, we encounter Zachary Taylor, a military hero known as Old Rough and Ready, whose presidency was also cut short. He owned a famous warhorse named Old Whitey, who grazed contentedly on the White House lawn. Imagine the stately grounds of the executive mansion, and there, amidst the manicured greenery, a majestic white horse, a living symbol of the president's military past and a beloved companion. Old Whitey was a veteran of the Mexican-American War, a loyal steed who had carried Taylor through many battles, and his presence at the White House was a charming and unusual sight. It speaks to a president who valued loyalty and companionship, bringing a touch of his rugged military past into the very heart of the nation's capital, a quiet, equine presence that added a unique character to the presidential residence. And in a rather dramatic and still debated end to his life, Zachary Taylor died after eating a large bowl of cherries and iced milk at a 4th of July celebration, leading to speculation of poisoning. Imagine the festive atmosphere of the celebration, the summer heat, the refreshing taste of the cherries and cold milk. Severe illness that quickly claimed his life. This sudden and unexpected demise fueled rumors and conspiracy theories for decades, with some suggesting foul play, though modern analysis points to a more natural cause, perhaps gastroenteritis from contaminated food or drink. Regardless of the exact cause, the image of a president succumbing so quickly after such a seemingly innocuous meal adds a layer of dramatic intrigue to this brief time in office. A quiet mystery surrounding the final moments of a military hero turned president. Our journey continues with Millard Fillmore, a president often overlooked, yet whose life held some charming and progressive details. He married his former teacher, Abigail Powers, who was 2 years older than him. Imagine the unconventional nature of this union for its time, a testament to their mutual respect, intellectual connection, and a love that transcended societal norms. Abigail, a well-educated woman, played a significant role in his intellectual development, fostering his love for learning. Their marriage, rooted in a shared passion for knowledge, speaks to a different kind of partnership, one built on intellectual companionship and mutual admiration, a quiet testament to a progressive relationship that blossomed against the backdrop of a rapidly changing nation. Indeed, Millard Fillmore married his former teacher, Abigail Powers, a detail that further underscores the unique and progressive nature of their relationship. Imagine the quiet intimacy of their early days, the student and his mentor, their intellectual bonds slowly deepening into a profound personal connection. This marriage, to a woman who had guided his education, speaks volumes about Fillmore's character, his respect for intelligence, his open-mindedness, and his willingness to defy social expectations for love. It paints a picture of a man who valued intellect and companionship above all else, a quiet, unconventional love story unfolding in the heart of a young America. And in a testament to their domestic innovation, Millard Fillmore and his wife Abigail installed the first bathtub and kitchen stove in the White House. Imagine the practical improvements, the increased comfort and efficiency these additions brought to the presidential residence, making it a more modern and functional home. Abigail, known for her love of books and comfort, was instrumental in these changes, recognizing the need for such basic amenities that were becoming more common in private homes. The installation of a proper bathtub, a luxury in its time, and a modern cooking stove marked a quiet but significant step towards making the White House a truly livable and comfortable space, reflecting the evolving standards of domestic life and the Fillmore's practical approach to home management. Our journey continues with Franklin Pierce, a president whose personal life was marked by profound tragedy. He holds the distinction of being the only president to affirm his oath of office rather than swear it, due to his religious beliefs. Imagine the solemn ceremony, the traditional words of the oath, and then Pierce, with quiet conviction, choosing to affirm rather than swear, a subtle yet significant departure from established custom. This choice, rooted in his deep personal faith and perhaps a desire to avoid invoking God in a way that felt inappropriate to him, speaks to his strong, individual convictions and his adherence to his conscience. It is a quiet moment of personal integrity, a president choosing to honor his beliefs, even in the most public and ceremonial of settings, a testament to the power of individual faith in shaping public action. Indeed, Franklin Pierce was the only president to affirm his oath of office rather than swear it, due to his religious beliefs. A detail that highlights his deep personal piety and his commitment to his spiritual convictions. Imagine the quiet strength required to deviate from such a long-standing tradition, to stand firm in one's personal faith, even under the intense scrutiny of the public eye. This act of affirmation, rather than swearing, was a deeply personal choice, reflecting his Unitarian beliefs and his profound respect for the sacredness of an oath. It speaks to a man of quiet conviction, whose personal faith guided his public actions. A subtle yet powerful declaration of his inner moral compass, a testament to the enduring influence of personal belief in the lives of public figures. And in a rather startling and unexpected incident, Franklin Pierce was arrested for running over an old woman with his horse, though the charges were later dropped. Imagine the chaos, the sudden accident, the unexpected confrontation with the law for a sitting president. This bizarre event, occurring during his presidency, is a truly unusual footnote in American history, highlighting the unexpected challenges and public scrutiny that even the highest office could not escape. While the charges were ultimately dismissed, the incident itself paints a vivid, if somewhat unsettling picture of a president caught in a very human, very public mishap. A quiet reminder that even leaders are not immune to the unpredictable twists and turns of everyday life. A moment of unexpected drama in an otherwise somber presidency. Next, we encounter James Buchanan, a figure of significant historical debate and the only bachelor president, never marrying. Imagine the White House during his tenure, perhaps a more formal and less domestically vibrant space without a first lady at its helm. His lifelong bachelorhood sets him apart from all other presidents, a unique personal circumstance that shaped his social and domestic life in the executive mansion. This absence of a spouse meant that his niece, Harriet Lane, often served as his gracious and capable first lady, adding a touch of elegance and warmth to his otherwise solitary personal life. His bachelor status, while unusual, allowed for a different kind of presidential household, one managed with the assistance of a beloved family member. A quiet testament to the varied personal lives of those who have held the highest office. In a lesser-known but significant aspect of his personal actions, James Buchanan often bought enslaved people in Washington, D.C., and then freed them in Pennsylvania. Imagine the complex moral landscape of the pre-Civil War era, and Buchanan, a man of his time, yet undertaking these quiet acts of manumission. This practice, while not widely publicized during his lifetime, reveals a nuanced and perhaps contradictory side to his character. A personal engagement with the institution of slavery that went beyond political rhetoric. It suggests a man grappling with the moral dilemmas of his age, using his personal resources to grant freedom to individuals. A quiet, almost private series of actions that stand in stark contrast to the larger political storms brewing around him. These acts of liberation, though limited in scope, offer a glimpse into the personal conscience of a president navigating a deeply divided nation. Indeed, James Buchanan was not only the only bachelor president, but also the only president from Pennsylvania, a detail that further distinguishes him among the long line of American leaders. Imagine the pride of his home state, seeing one of their own ascend to the highest office, a unique representation from the Keystone State. This dual distinction, his singular marital status and his unique state of origin, contributes to his distinct place in presidential history, setting him apart in both personal and geographical terms. It's a quiet reminder of the diverse backgrounds and personal circumstances that have shaped the individuals who have led the nation, each bringing their own unique story to the grand narrative of American leadership. And further elaborating on his unique domestic arrangements, James Buchanan was the only bachelor president, and frequently had his niece, Harriet Lane, serve as his first lady. Imagine the elegance and grace that Harriet brought to the White House, stepping into a role traditionally filled by a president's wife, and doing so with considerable charm and social acumen. She became a popular and effective hostess, adding a much-needed feminine touch and social vibrancy to the executive mansion during her uncle's presidency. Her presence highlights the adaptability of the First Lady role and the importance of social grace in the political landscape of the time. It's a quiet testament to the strength of family bonds and the ability of individuals to step into unexpected roles with dignity and skill, creating a unique chapter in the social history of the White House. As the early days of the Republic fade, and these fascinating figures, with their quirks and their triumphs, their personal lives and their public duties, recede into the gentle mists of history, we prepare to move into a period of great change and the unique personalities who navigated it, revealing surprising talents and hidden pastimes. The echoes of their lives, their quiet contributions, and their grand gestures now gently guide you further into the realms of deep relaxation, preparing you for the next chapter of our journey, a journey that will continue to unfold as you drift into the tranquil embrace of sleep. As the gentle hush of evening descends, wrapping the world in its soft, velvet embrace, we continue our quiet journey through the tapestry of time, exploring the lives of those who once stood at the helm of a burgeoning nation, their stories woven with threads of both grand ambition and surprisingly tender human moments. We drift now, like a feather on a soft breeze, towards the era of Abraham Lincoln, a name that echoes with profound significance, yet whose personal life held fascinating, unexpected facets that often remain tucked away in the annals of history, far from the grand pronouncements and weighty decisions. Imagine, if you will, the bustling, unpaved streets of Springfield, Illinois, long before the solemn weight of the presidency settled upon his shoulders. Before the nation was torn asunder by conflict, before his iconic image was etched into the very fabric of American memory. In those earlier days, a young Abraham Lincoln, with his towering frame and thoughtful gaze, was not merely a budding lawyer or a burgeoning politician, but also, quite remarkably, a licensed bartender, a proprietor of a local tavern, a place where stories were shared, news was exchanged, and the simple, everyday rhythms of life unfolded. Picture the warm glow of oil lamps casting long shadows across wooden tables, the murmur of voices, the clinking of glasses, and Lincoln himself, perhaps wiping down the counter with a practiced hand, his mind already turning over legal arguments or philosophical musings, even as he served a drink to a weary traveler or a local farmer. This was a man of the people, deeply rooted in the practicalities of his community, understanding the common man's trials and triumphs from a perspective far more intimate than many might imagine. A man who knew the taste of honest labor and the quiet camaraderie of a neighborhood establishment. It's a gentle reminder that even the most monumental figures often began their journeys in the most unassuming of places, honing their understanding of humanity in the everyday interactions that shape us all. And if that glimpse into his early life sparks a quiet wonder, consider another, even more vigorous aspect of his youth: a testament to his physical prowess and enduring spirit. Abraham Lincoln, the future president, the eloquent orator, was also, in his younger years, a champion wrestler, a formidable presence in the wrestling rings of his time, a man of surprising strength and agility who reportedly lost only a single match out of an astonishing 300. Envision the dust rising from the wrestling grounds, the cheers of the crowd, the raw, untamed energy of youthful competition, and Lincoln, with his long limbs and determined spirit, engaging in these physical contests, learning perhaps the lessons of resilience, strategy, and perseverance that would serve him so profoundly in the far greater struggles that lay ahead. It's a beautiful, almost poetic image, this blend of intellectual depth and physical fortitude, a man capable of both profound thought and powerful action, a testament to the multifaceted nature of human potential, reminding us that strength comes in many forms, both visible and unseen. As the echoes of Lincoln's early life gently fade, we turn our attention to his successor, Andrew Johnson, a man whose path to the presidency was marked by an entirely different set of circumstances, a narrative of self-made determination and humble origins. Andrew Johnson, before he ever stepped into the grand halls of power, was a tailor by trade, a skilled artisan who worked with needle and thread, shaping fabric into garments, a meticulous craft that demanded precision and patience. He often made his own suits, a quiet act of self-reliance, a tangible connection to the practical skills that defined his early life. A man who understood the value of a well-made garment, perhaps even the metaphor of carefully stitching together the disparate pieces of a nation. This hands-on experience, this intimate knowledge of creation and repair, must have imbued him with a unique perspective, a grounded understanding of the world that few presidents have shared, a quiet dignity in the mastery of a useful trade. And his story deepens with another remarkable detail. Andrew Johnson never attended school, a fact that speaks volumes about the sheer force of his will and the unwavering support he received. It was his devoted wife, Eliza McArdle Johnson, who taught him to read and write, patiently guiding him through the letters and words, unlocking the vast world of knowledge that had been inaccessible to him. Imagine those quiet evenings, the soft lamplight illuminating the pages of a book, Eliza's gentle voice, and Andrew's earnest concentration, the slow, deliberate process of acquiring literacy, a foundational skill that would eventually allow him to navigate the complex legal and political landscapes of his time. This shared endeavor, this intimate act of education, forged a bond of profound respect and intellectual partnership, a testament to the power of love and dedication in overcoming obstacles, a quiet heroism found in the simple act of learning. Even within the hallowed, often rigid confines of the White House, Andrew Johnson carried with him a touch of the unconventional, a gentle eccentricity that offered a glimpse into his private world. He kept white mice as pets in his bedroom, small, scurrying companions that offered a quiet diversion from the immense pressures of his office. Picture the grand, stately rooms, usually filled with weighty deliberations and formal decorum, now softened by the presence of these tiny creatures, perhaps a quiet echo of a simpler time, a small comfort in the midst of overwhelming responsibility. It's a tender image, a reminder that even presidents, burdened by the fate of nations, seek small moments of solace, a connection to the natural world, a gentle reminder of life's delicate balance. And when his time came, this man who had once been a tailor, who had crafted his own clothes, was laid to rest wrapped in his favorite quilt, a soft, familiar comfort, a final embrace of the handmade, the personal, the tangible connections that defined his remarkable journey. Our narrative thread now leads us to Ulysses S. Grant, a name synonymous with military genius and unwavering resolve, a general whose strategic brilliance turned the tide of a devastating war. Yet even this formidable figure, this hero of the Union, possessed a surprisingly human vulnerability, a delicate sensitivity that belied his tough exterior. Despite his unparalleled military prowess, his command over vast armies, and his experience on countless battlefields, Ulysses S. Grant harbored a strong aversion to the sight of blood. Imagine the internal struggle, the quiet fortitude required to lead men into the most brutal of conflicts, to witness the horrific consequences of war, all while contending with such a profound personal discomfort. It speaks to a deep well of inner strength, a commitment to duty that transcended personal aversion, a testament to the complex layers of human character, where courage and sensitivity can coexist in the most unexpected ways. And in a lighter, more whimsical vein, this celebrated general, this future president, found himself in a rather undignified predicament long after the cannons had fallen silent. Ulysses S. Grant was once given a speeding ticket, not for a carriage or an automobile, but for riding his horse too fast through the streets of Washington, D.C. Picture the scene: the dignified president, perhaps lost in thought, or simply enjoying the exhilaration of a brisk ride, being pulled over by a local officer, the unexpected clash of presidential authority with the mundane regulations of city life. It's a charming anecdote, a moment of unexpected humor that humanizes a figure often seen in stoic heroic terms, reminding us that even presidents are subject to the everyday rules and occasional embarrassments that pepper our lives. Ticketed for riding his horse and buggy too fast, a gentle echo of a bygone era, a time when the pace of life, even for a president, was measured by hooves and wheels. After the tumultuous years of war and the demanding tenure of the presidency, Grant embarked on a grand 2-year world tour, a journey of exploration and diplomacy that took him across continents and oceans, a remarkable chapter in his life that showcased a different kind of leadership. He met with Queen Victoria, the formidable monarch of the British Empire, and engaged with other heads of state, a global ambassador for a nation still finding its footing on the world stage. Imagine the grand receptions, the exchange of ideas, the quiet dignity with which this American general, now a global figure, represented his country, bridging cultures and fostering understanding. It was a journey of discovery, both for Grant himself and for the world, a testament to the enduring power of human connection and the universal language of diplomacy, a peaceful counterpoint to the battles he had once commanded. Our journey through presidential peculiarities now brings us to Rutherford B. Hayes, a figure whose presidency marked a period of reconstruction and reconciliation, but whose personal life held a delightful, exotic secret. Rutherford B. Hayes owned the very first Siamese cat in the United States, a creature of exquisite beauty and mysterious allure, a gift from the American consul in Bangkok. Imagine this elegant feline with its striking blue eyes and distinctive markings, padding softly through the stately rooms of the White House, a touch of the exotic amidst the familiar American landscape. It's a charming detail, a testament to the global connections that were beginning to weave themselves into the fabric of American life. A quiet moment of international exchange embodied in the form of a beloved pet, a symbol of curiosity and appreciation for the world beyond its borders. And his wife, Lucy, known affectionately as Lemonade Lucy, left her own indelible mark on the White House, not through grand policy, but through a personal conviction that shaped the social atmosphere of the executive mansion. She famously banned alcohol from the White House, a bold statement in an era when spirits were a common fixture at official functions. Picture the elegant dinners, the refined gatherings, where guests were served not wine or champagne, but refreshing lemonade. A clear and conscious choice reflecting Lucy's temperance beliefs. This decision, though seemingly small, spoke volumes about her character and her influence, creating a unique social environment, a quiet revolution within the presidential residence, a testament to the power of personal conviction to shape public spaces. As we continue our gentle drift through these historical moments, we arrive at James A. Garfield, a man of extraordinary intellect and astonishing cognitive abilities, whose story is tinged with both brilliance and tragedy. James A. Garfield possessed a truly remarkable talent, a testament to the incredible plasticity of the human mind. He could write Latin with one hand and Greek with the other simultaneously. Imagine the sheer mental dexterity required for such a feat. The simultaneous processing of two distinct languages, two different scripts, a symphony of thought and motion unfolding on the page. It speaks to a mind of profound capacity, a thirst for knowledge, and an almost artistic command over language, a rare gift that set him apart. And his talents extended beyond mere linguistic acrobatics, encompassing a playful, almost performative mastery of ambidexterity. James Garfield could entertain guests by drawing a circle, a square, and a triangle simultaneously with both hands and one foot. Picture the awe and delight of his audience watching this incredible display of coordination and control, a testament to a mind that was not only intellectually profound, but also playfully engaged with the physical world. It's a vivid image of a man who embraced the full spectrum of his abilities, finding joy in both profound scholarship and whimsical demonstration, a reminder that genius can manifest in myriad, often surprising ways. This ambidextrous president, capable of such intricate simultaneous actions, truly embodied a unique blend of mental and physical prowess, a testament to the boundless potential of human coordination and intellect. From the intellectual gymnastics of Garfield, we transition to the refined, almost dandyish elegance of Chester A. Arthur, a president renowned for his impeccable style and sartorial splendor. Chester A. Arthur was famously known for owning an astonishing 80 pairs of trousers, a wardrobe that speaks volumes about his dedication to fashion and his meticulous attention to personal presentation. Imagine the vast array of fabrics, the different cuts and styles, each pair chosen with care, reflecting a man who understood the power of appearance and reveled in the art of dressing well. He was known for changing his trousers several times a day, a ritual of transformation, a constant renewal of his public image, a quiet performance of elegance that defined his presidency. This elaborate wardrobe and dandyish style were not merely superficial. They were an extension of his personality, a statement of his belief in the importance of refinement and grace, a subtle form of communication in an era where presentation held significant weight. His elegant fashion sense became a hallmark of his time in office, a testament to the idea that leadership could also be imbued with a sense of aesthetic appreciation and personal flair. Our journey now brings us to Grover Cleveland, a president whose political career was marked by a unique historical distinction, a testament to the shifting tides of public opinion and his enduring appeal. Grover Cleveland holds the singular distinction of being the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, winning elections in 1884 and then again in 1892 after a 4-year hiatus. Imagine the ebb and flow of political fortune, the experience of leaving the highest office and then, years later, being called back to serve once more, a testament to his resilience and the trust the American people placed in him. It's a fascinating anomaly in the presidential lineage, a quiet demonstration of the enduring power of a political figure to reclaim his place, a unique chapter in the story of American leadership. And during his time in office, Grover Cleveland faced a profoundly personal and potentially politically devastating health crisis, which he handled with extraordinary secrecy and discretion. He had a cancerous tumor removed from his jaw in secret aboard a yacht to avoid public panic and maintain stability during a sensitive economic period. Picture the hushed urgency of the operation, the quiet determination to keep such a grave matter from the public eye, the immense pressure of leadership combined with the vulnerability of a serious illness. It's a powerful testament to the hidden burdens of the presidency, the personal sacrifices made in the name of public duty, a quiet act of courage and strategic management that protected the nation from potential instability. A profound example of the weight carried by those in power. As we gently drift towards the close of the 19th century, we encounter Benjamin Harrison, a president whose tenure coincided with a remarkable technological leap that would forever change the landscape of modern life: the advent of electricity. Benjamin Harrison was the first president to have electricity installed in the White House, a truly groundbreaking innovation that promised to illuminate the nation's most important residents with a new kind of light. Imagine the wonder and perhaps a touch of apprehension that accompanied this new technology, the flickering gas lights giving way to the steady glow of electric bulbs. Yet despite this monumental advancement, Harrison himself and his wife Caroline harbored a charmingly relatable fear. They were both afraid to touch the light switches. Picture the presidential couple standing in a brightly lit room, perhaps marveling at the innovation, yet relying on staff to turn the lights on and off. A quiet testament to the human tendency to approach new technologies with a mix of awe and trepidation. It's a delightful detail that humanizes the powerful figures of history, reminding us that even presidents, at the cusp of modernity, shared the common anxieties and curiosities of their time, a gentle echo of our own moments of hesitation when faced with the truly new and unfamiliar. This fear of the unknown, even something as seemingly innocuous as a light switch, paints a vivid picture of a world on the brink of profound change, where the familiar comforts of the past slowly yielded to the dazzling, sometimes daunting, possibilities of the future. Finally, our journey through these intriguing presidential lives brings us to William McKinley, a president whose era ushered in a new century and whose personal habits were marked by a charming, superstitious ritual. William McKinley always wore a red carnation in his lapel for good luck, a vibrant splash of color against his formal attire, a small personal talisman carried close to his heart. Imagine this distinctive bloom, a constant companion, a quiet symbol of hope and fortune throughout his public life. This simple, elegant gesture became an iconic part of his image, a testament to the human desire for a little extra protection, a touch of magic in the often unpredictable world of politics. And in a moment of poignant, almost prophetic generosity, this beloved red carnation became intertwined with a tragic twist of fate. William McKinley, in a moment of warmth and kindness, gave his lucky red carnation to a little girl just moments before he was assassinated. Picture the innocent exchange, the president's gentle smile, the child's delighted wonder at receiving such a special gift, and then the sudden, shocking turn of events that followed. It's a heartbreaking detail, one that echoes the fragility of life and the unexpected intersections of everyday moments and historic change. A stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unforeseen currents of destiny. A small act of kindness overshadowed by immense tragedy, leaving us with a profound sense of the preciousness of every single moment. This simple flower, a symbol of good fortune, became a silent witness to a moment of profound loss, a tender memory forever etched into the annals of history. As the echoes of these fascinating lives gently recede, leaving behind a tapestry woven with threads of quiet determination, unexpected talents, and deeply human moments, we find ourselves at the threshold of a new era, a time when the nation continued its relentless march forward. From the quiet fears of new technology to the grand adventures of a new century, our next leaders embraced innovation and left their unique marks on the presidency, guiding a nation into an ever-evolving future, their stories waiting to unfold like the soft petals of a midnight bloom. And so, as we drift further into the gentle currents of this evening, leaving behind the quiet hobbies of artists and the thoughtful pursuits of scholars, we find ourselves approaching a new chapter in the grand tapestry of leadership, a time when the highest office was graced by individuals whose personalities were as vibrant and varied as the changing seasons themselves, bringing with them not only innovation and adventure, but also a delightful array of unexpected quirks and charming eccentricities that painted the White House in hues of surprise and wonder. Imagine, if you will, the early days of the 20th century, a time of burgeoning change and boundless energy, and at its helm, a figure of immense vitality and intellectual curiosity, Theodore Roosevelt. His spirit, much like the wild landscapes he so cherished, was untamed and full of life, always seeking new frontiers, new challenges, new ways to engage with the world around him. It is perhaps fitting, then, that even within the hallowed halls of the White House, a place often associated with solemnity and decorum, Roosevelt managed to infuse a sense of daring and the unexpected, leaving his indelible mark not just on policy, but also on the very fabric of his own physical being. Consider the remarkable tale of how Theodore Roosevelt, a man of such robust health and boundless vigor, came to be blind in one eye, an injury sustained not on some distant battlefield or during a perilous expedition, but right there, within the very walls of the presidential residence, a testament to his unyielding commitment to a life of active engagement. He was, you see, an ardent proponent of the strenuous life, believing deeply in the importance of physical activity and mental fortitude, and to that end, he often engaged in a variety of athletic pursuits, even while serving as president. Among these, boxing held a particular fascination for him, a sport that demanded both discipline and courage, a direct confrontation of wills and strengths. It was during one of these sparring sessions, held in a makeshift ring within the White House itself, that a misjudged blow, a moment of intense impact, forever altered his vision, leaving him with a profound and permanent blindness in one eye. Yet with characteristic resilience, he chose to keep this personal challenge largely private, continuing to navigate the complexities of his office with an undiminished spirit, his keen intellect and unwavering determination shining through, a quiet testament to his extraordinary inner strength. He did not allow this physical setback to define him or to diminish his capacity for leadership, instead integrating it into the tapestry of his experience, much like a seasoned sailor learns to navigate by different stars when one is obscured. This same adventurous spirit, this insatiable quest for new experiences and understanding, propelled Theodore Roosevelt to embrace the cutting edge of his era's technology, making him a true pioneer among presidents. He was, quite astonishingly, the very first president to ride in an automobile, a marvel of modern engineering that was just beginning to transform transportation, offering a glimpse into a future of speed and accessibility. Imagine the sensation of that first ride, the wind rushing past, the landscape blurring, a stark contrast to the horse-drawn carriages that had defined presidential travel for centuries. But his pioneering spirit did not stop there. He also soared into the skies, becoming the first president to fly in an airplane, a breathtaking leap into the nascent age of aviation, a moment that must have felt both exhilarating and profoundly symbolic of humanity's ever-expanding horizons. And as if to balance the heights of the sky with the depths of the ocean, he also ventured beneath the waves, submerging in a submarine, experiencing firsthand the silent, mysterious world of underwater travel, pushing the boundaries of what was possible, always seeking to understand and engage with the innovations that were reshaping the world. These acts were not mere stunts. They were expressions of a profound curiosity, a desire to personally experience and understand the forces of progress that were sweeping across the nation and the globe, embodying the very essence of a leader who was always looking forward, always ready to embrace the new. Beyond his physical exploits and technological fascinations, Theodore Roosevelt possessed a profound commitment to peace and international understanding, a dedication that earned him a truly singular distinction. He was the first American to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, a recognition of his extraordinary efforts in mediating the end of the devastating Russo-Japanese War. This conflict, a brutal struggle between two emerging global powers, had raged across vast distances, claiming countless lives and destabilizing international relations. Roosevelt, with his characteristic blend of diplomatic skill and forceful persuasion, brought the warring factions to the negotiating table, orchestrating a peace agreement that, while not universally celebrated, ultimately brought an end to the bloodshed. His ability to navigate the treacherous waters of international diplomacy, to find common ground amidst deeply entrenched hostilities, showcased a different kind of strength, a quiet power of reason and persuasion that stood in stark contrast to the thunder of cannons. This achievement underscored his belief that true leadership often involves the courage to seek peaceful resolutions, even when the path is fraught with difficulty, leaving an enduring legacy of statesmanship that transcended national borders. And then there is the almost mythical tale, a story that speaks volumes about Roosevelt's sheer force of will and indomitable spirit. A moment that seems to leap from the pages of an epic saga. It was during a campaign speech in Milwaukee, a bustling public gathering filled with eager listeners, that an assassin's bullet found its mark, striking him in the chest. The impact must have been jarring, the pain immense, the shock reverberating through the crowd. Yet with a composure that defies belief, Theodore Roosevelt, bleeding and wounded, refused to be deterred. He insisted on continuing his speech, delivering a powerful address for an astonishing 90 minutes, with the bullet still lodged in his chest, a testament to his extraordinary resilience and unwavering dedication to his message. He famously declared, "It takes more than that to kill a bull moose," referring to his Progressive Party nickname. And indeed, his actions that day proved him right. This incredible display of fortitude, this refusal to yield in the face of mortal danger, cemented his image as a man of iron will, a leader who would not be silenced, a figure whose courage was as boundless as his energy, leaving an indelible mark on the collective memory of a nation. As the vibrant energy of Theodore Roosevelt began to recede into the annals of history, a new figure stepped onto the national stage, one whose presence was as substantial as his policies: William Howard Taft. Taft, a man of considerable intellect and a gentle disposition, brought a different kind of gravitas to the presidency, a thoughtful and measured approach that contrasted with his predecessor's boisterous dynamism. Yet, despite his serious demeanor and profound legal mind, Taft is perhaps most famously remembered for a detail that speaks to his impressive physical stature, a characteristic that led to one of the most charming and enduring anecdotes of White House history. William Howard Taft was, by all accounts, a man of truly impressive proportions, a physical presence that commanded attention. His considerable size was not merely a matter of observation. It became a practical consideration within the confines of the White House, a grand residence built for comfort, but perhaps not for a president of such magnificent scale. The standard bathtubs of the era, designed for average individuals, proved to be quite inadequate for Taft's needs, leading to a rather humorous and memorable predicament. It is said with a twinkle in the eye of history that he once became quite literally stuck in the White House bathtub, a moment of unexpected indignity that, while likely exaggerated for comedic effect over the years, certainly highlighted the need for a more accommodating solution. This amusing incident, whether entirely factual or embellished by time, is part of the enduring charm of Taft's legacy. Directly led to the installation of a truly remarkable piece of presidential plumbing: a custom-sized bathtub, a magnificent porcelain vessel so exceptionally large that it was reportedly capable of fitting 4 normal-sized men comfortably. Imagine the sheer scale of it, a testament to the practical adjustments sometimes required to accommodate the unique characteristics of those who occupy the highest office. A silent monument to a president who was, in every sense of the word, larger than life. Beyond the tales of his impressive stature, William Howard Taft holds a unique place in American history, not just for his presidency, but for his unparalleled legal career. He was, quite remarkably, the only president to also serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, an extraordinary achievement that underscores his profound dedication to the rule of law and his deep understanding of the American legal system. After his single term as president, Taft did not retreat from public service. Instead, he returned to the field he loved most, eventually ascending to the highest judicial office in the land. This dual role, leading both the executive and judicial branches of government, is a testament to his intellectual prowess, his unwavering commitment to public service, and his enduring legacy as a statesman who shaped American jurisprudence for decades. His journey from the White House to the Supreme Court represents a rare and distinguished path, highlighting a career defined by a profound sense of duty and an unwavering belief in the principles of justice. And yet, despite his serious legal background and presidential responsibilities, William Howard Taft also possessed a lighter side, a willingness to engage with the popular culture of his time, particularly when it came to America's burgeoning national pastime. He was, in fact, the first president to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game, a tradition that has since become an iconic symbol of the intersection between sports and national leadership. Imagine the scene, the roar of the crowd, the anticipation in the air, as President Taft, perhaps with a slight smile playing on his lips, stepped onto the pitcher's mound, ball in hand, ready to inaugurate the baseball season. This simple act, seemingly minor in the grand scheme of presidential duties, was a significant gesture, connecting the highest office with the everyday joys and passions of the American people, demonstrating a president who understood the importance of shared cultural experiences, a leader who could bridge the gap between the weighty matters of state and the simple pleasure of a ball game on a sunny afternoon. As the era of Taft's gentle leadership gave way to new challenges and new voices, the nation found itself navigating the complexities of a rapidly changing world, a period that called for intellectual rigor and a profound sense of purpose. Stepping into this moment was Woodrow Wilson, a man whose academic background and scholarly demeanor brought a distinctly intellectual approach to the presidency. Wilson, a former university professor and president of Princeton University, possessed a keen mind and a vision for a more just and peaceful world, embodying the ideal of a scholar-statesman. Woodrow Wilson was indeed the only president to hold a PhD, a distinction that set him apart from all his predecessors and successors, underscoring his deep commitment to education and intellectual pursuit. His doctoral degree in political science from Johns Hopkins University reflected a profound understanding of governance, history, and international relations, providing him with a unique lens through which to view the challenges of his time. This academic foundation informed his policies and his rhetoric, lending a thoughtful, analytical quality to his leadership. It is also a poignant detail that he is the only president buried in Washington, D.C.'s National Cathedral, a magnificent edifice that stands as a symbol of national reverence and spiritual contemplation, a fitting final resting place for a man whose life was dedicated to profound ideas and the pursuit of a higher purpose for his nation and the world. His presence within those hallowed walls serves as a quiet reminder of the intellectual depth and moral conviction he brought to the presidency. During the tumultuous years of World War I, when the nation's resources were strained and every effort was made to conserve and contribute to the war effort, Woodrow Wilson demonstrated a pragmatic and rather charming approach to resource management right on the White House grounds. In a delightful testament to his practical nature and perhaps a touch of pastoral whimsy, he brought a flock of sheep to graze on the White House lawn. Imagine the sight: these gentle, woolly creatures peacefully munching on the verdant grass, transforming the iconic presidential residence into a temporary pasture. This wasn't merely for aesthetic appeal. It was a deliberate and ingenious strategy to save on mowing costs and to free up manpower for the war effort, as the sheep efficiently kept the lawns trimmed without the need for human labor or machinery. The wool, harvested from these presidential sheep, was even auctioned off, with the proceeds going to the Red Cross, further contributing to the national cause. This endearing image of sheep grazing on the White House lawn during a time of global conflict offers a unique glimpse into Wilson's character, revealing a leader who, even amidst the gravest international challenges, found practical and symbolic ways to unite the nation in a common purpose, blending the serious with the subtly charming. As the world grappled with the aftermath of the Great War, Woodrow Wilson embarked on a journey that would forever change the nature of presidential travel and diplomacy. He was the first president to cross the Atlantic Ocean while in office, traveling to Europe for the Paris Peace Conference, a monumental undertaking that underscored his vision for a new world order. Prior to Wilson, presidents had largely conducted foreign policy from within the continental United States, but the scale of the post-war challenges demanded a direct, personal engagement. Imagine the long voyage across the vast expanse of the ocean, the anticipation building with each passing day as the president sailed towards a continent scarred by war, carrying with him the hopes for a lasting peace. This journey was not merely a physical crossing, it was a symbolic one, marking a significant shift in America's role on the global stage, from isolation to active international leadership. Wilson's presence at the peace talks, his tireless advocacy for the League of Nations, and his unwavering belief in collective security all stemmed from this historic journey, a testament to his courage to break with tradition and personally champion his ideals on the world stage, forever altering the landscape of international diplomacy. Following the intense idealism of the Wilson years, the nation yearned for a return to normalcy, and with Warren G. Harding, a sense of calm and a connection to emerging technologies began to permeate the White House. Harding, a newspaper publisher by profession, understood the power of communication and the evolving media landscape, making him a fitting figure to embrace the innovations that were just beginning to shape modern life. It was Warren G. Harding who proudly became the first president to own a radio, a revolutionary device that was transforming the way information and entertainment were disseminated, bringing voices and music directly into homes across the nation. Imagine the novelty of it, the wonder of tuning into a distant broadcast, the crackle and hum of the airwaves giving way to spoken words or melodies. For Harding, a man deeply involved in the world of media, the radio was not just a personal possession. It was a symbol of progress, a tool that promised to connect the president directly with the American people in an unprecedented way, bypassing the traditional filters of print media. He understood its potential to inform, to unite, and to shape public opinion, laying the groundwork for future presidents to utilize this powerful medium for fireside chats and national addresses, forever changing the landscape of political communication. Tragically, Warren G. Harding's presidency was cut short by his sudden death in office, a somber event that perhaps fittingly became intertwined with the very technology he had so readily embraced. He was the first president whose death was announced on the radio, a poignant moment that underscored the profound impact of this new medium. The news, once confined to newspaper headlines and telegraph wires, now traveled instantaneously, reaching homes across the country with an immediacy that was both startling and deeply moving. Imagine families gathered around their radio sets, listening in hushed tones as the solemn announcement filled the air, the voice of the broadcaster carrying the weight of national mourning into every living room. This moment marked a significant turning point in how a nation collectively grieved and processed major events, demonstrating the radio's power not just to entertain or inform, but to unite a populace in shared sorrow, etching Harding's passing into the fabric of broadcasting history. Amidst the serious affairs of state, Warren G. Harding also brought a touch of warmth and companionship to the White House, in the form of his beloved pet bulldog, Laddie Boy. This charming canine was no ordinary presidential pet. Laddie Boy enjoyed a remarkably privileged position, almost like a junior member of the administration. He famously had his own cabinet chair, a special seat reserved for him during meetings, where he would sit with a dignified air, observing the proceedings with an almost human understanding. Imagine the scene, serious discussions about national policy unfolding, with Laddie Boy perched attentively, perhaps occasionally letting out a gentle snore or a soft sigh, adding an unexpected, comforting presence to the often tense atmosphere. He was a constant companion, a source of quiet joy, and a beloved figure who brought a delightful dose of normalcy and affection to the highest office, reminding everyone that even presidents, with all their weighty responsibilities, cherish the simple, unconditional love of a loyal pet. Following Harding's unexpected passing, Calvin Coolidge, known affectionately as Silent Cal, stepped into the presidency, bringing with him a quiet demeanor and an even more eclectic menagerie of White House pets, adding a whimsical and endearing chapter to presidential history. Coolidge's reserved nature belied a surprisingly playful spirit when it came to his animal companions, transforming the executive mansion into a veritable haven for creatures great and small. Calvin Coolidge was indeed known as Silent Cal, a nickname that perfectly encapsulated his quiet and reserved nature. A man of few words who preferred thoughtful contemplation to boisterous pronouncements. His taciturn demeanor was legendary. He famously once accepted a bet that he couldn't get more than 2 words out of him, to which he replied, "You lose." Yet beneath this quiet exterior lay a keen intellect and a dry wit, and perhaps a deep appreciation for the unspoken companionship of animals. His silence, rather than being an absence, often felt like a presence, a calm and steady force in a world often filled with noise, offering a sense of stability and reassurance during a period of economic prosperity and social change. This quiet strength, combined with his unexpected affection for a diverse array of creatures, painted a unique portrait of a president who found solace and joy in the quieter corners of life, a gentle soul leading a bustling nation. Among Calvin Coolidge's most famous and beloved pets was a charming raccoon named Rebecca, who became a true White House celebrity. Rebecca was not merely a caged animal. She was a cherished member of the Coolidge family, often roaming the White House with a playful curiosity that delighted staff and visitors alike. Imagine Rebecca, with her distinctive masked face and nimble paws, exploring the grand corridors, perhaps even peeking into official meetings, adding a touch of wild charm to the formal setting. Coolidge himself was quite fond of her, and it was not uncommon to see him walking Rebecca on a leash, a truly unique sight that surely brought smiles to the faces of onlookers. This image of the reserved president strolling with his raccoon, a symbol of untamed nature brought into the heart of power, speaks volumes about Coolidge's character, revealing a man who, despite his quiet exterior, possessed a deep affection for the natural world and an endearing willingness to embrace the unconventional, making the White House feel a little more like a home and a little less like a monument. But Rebecca was just one of many unusual companions that shared the White House with Calvin Coolidge. His love for animals extended to a truly astonishing variety of creatures, making his presidency one of the most memorable for its menagerie. He owned a pygmy hippo, a truly exotic and rare animal, whose presence must have been a constant source of wonder. There was also a bear cub, a playful and energetic addition to the presidential household, and even a pair of lion cubs, which he charmingly named Tax Reduction and Budget Bureau, a nod to his fiscal conservatism even in his choice of pet names. Imagine the sheer logistics of housing such a diverse collection of animals, from the wild and majestic to the small and curious, all within the confines of the White House. This extraordinary assortment of pets, ranging from the familiar to the truly exotic, painted a vivid picture of Calvin Coolidge as a man who found joy and perhaps a quiet sense of connection in the animal kingdom, transforming the presidential residence into a fascinating and lively sanctuary, a place where the serious business of state was occasionally punctuated by the delightful antics of a truly unique collection of animal companions. As the Roaring Twenties gave way to the sobering realities of the Great Depression, Herbert Hoover took the reins of a nation facing unprecedented economic hardship. Hoover, a man of immense intellect and a distinguished career as a mining engineer, brought a different kind of background to the presidency, one rooted in practical problem-solving and global experience. Yet, even amidst the weight of national crisis, the White House continued to hold its share of delightful, if slightly mischievous, animal inhabitants, thanks to the youthful exuberance of the president's son. Herbert Hoover himself was a self-made millionaire before entering politics, a testament to his remarkable intelligence, tireless work ethic, and entrepreneurial spirit. Having trained as a mining engineer, he traveled the world, overseeing vast mining operations and humanitarian efforts, accumulating a wealth of experience in logistics, organization, and problem-solving. This background instilled in him a deep belief in individual initiative and efficient management, principles he hoped to apply to the challenges of the nation. His journey from a humble Quaker upbringing to a global engineer and then to the highest office in the land is a powerful narrative of ambition, intellect, and public service, showcasing a man who had built his own fortune and then turned his formidable talents towards improving the lives of others. A true embodiment of the American dream, even as he faced the greatest economic downturn in the nation's history. And then there's the truly unexpected and rather charming tale of Herbert Hoover's son and his unusual pets. Imagine the scene, the solemnity of the White House, the weight of the presidency, and then the sudden surprising appearance of two pet alligators, occasionally roaming the White House grounds. These weren't just any pets. They were formidable reptiles, brought to the executive mansion by Hoover's son, perhaps as a playful, if slightly daring gesture. One can only imagine the reactions of staff and visitors encountering these unexpected inhabitants, their scaly forms basking in the sun, or perhaps even venturing near the rose garden. The presence of these alligators, these ancient, powerful creatures, amidst the manicured lawns and stately architecture, adds a layer of delightful incongruity to the Hoover presidency. It speaks to the enduring human fascination with the wild, even in the most formal of settings, and provides a whimsical counterpoint to the serious challenges that defined his time in office. A reminder that even in times of great difficulty, life finds a way to surprise and delight, particularly through the innocent, uninhibited choices of a child. As the nation grappled with the profound challenges of the Great Depression and the looming shadows of global conflict, a new leader emerged, one whose charisma, resilience, and personal passions would define an era. Franklin D. Roosevelt. FDR, a figure of immense historical significance, brought not only a vision for national recovery, but also a vibrant personal life, filled with engaging hobbies and beloved companions, offering a glimpse into the man behind the monumental presidency. Franklin D. Roosevelt was, by all accounts, an avid stamp collector, a passionate philatelist who found solace and intellectual stimulation in the intricate world of postage stamps. This wasn't merely a casual hobby, it was a lifelong dedication, a pursuit that allowed him to connect with history, geography, and art, all within the confines of tiny, colorful squares. Over his lifetime, he amassed a truly astonishing collection, numbering over 1 million stamps, a testament to his meticulous nature and profound interest in the world beyond his immediate political sphere. Imagine him, in moments of quiet contemplation, perhaps after a long day of wrestling with national crises, poring over his albums, examining the delicate perforations, the vibrant designs, the historical significance of each miniature artifact. This hobby provided him with a private refuge, a mental escape where he could exercise his keen intellect in a different way, finding patterns, discovering stories, and connecting with the vast tapestry of human endeavor, all through the humble medium of the postage stamp. It was a quiet passion that revealed a man of deep curiosity and an appreciation for the details that often go unnoticed. Among Franklin D. Roosevelt's most famous and cherished companions was his beloved Scottish Terrier, Fala, a dog whose charm and personality were so captivating that he became almost as famous as the president himself. Fala was more than just a pet. He was a constant presence, a loyal confidant, and a symbol of comfort and companionship during some of the most challenging years in American history. He accompanied FDR on countless journeys, both public and private, becoming a familiar and much-loved figure in photographs and newsreels. Imagine Fala trotting faithfully by the president's side, his shaggy fur and bright eyes a comforting presence amidst the weight of wartime leadership. His playful antics and unwavering devotion brought moments of levity and warmth to the White House, reminding everyone of the simple, profound joy that animals bring to our lives. Fala's fame even extended to becoming the subject of a famous speech, where FDR humorously defended his dog against political attacks, further cementing Fala's place in the hearts of the American people and in the annals of presidential pet history, a testament to the enduring bond between a man and his loyal canine friend. As the era of Franklin D. Roosevelt's transformative leadership drew to a close, and the nation faced the daunting task of navigating the post-war world, Harry S. Truman stepped into the presidency, a man of humble origins and unexpected talents, whose life before the White House was as rich and varied as his time in office. Truman, known for his no-nonsense approach and his decisive leadership, also possessed a quieter, more artistic side, a testament to the multifaceted nature of human character. Harry S. Truman was remarkably a talented pianist and an aspiring concert musician in his younger years, a fact that might surprise those who only know him as the stoic, resolute president who made some of the most difficult decisions in American history. Imagine the young Truman diligently practicing scales and arpeggios, his fingers dancing across the keys, dreaming of a life on the stage, performing for appreciative audiences. While the demands of family and public service eventually led him down a different path, his love for music remained a constant in his life. This artistic sensibility, this capacity for beauty and expression, offered a counterpoint to the often harsh realities of political life, providing him with a private refuge and a means of emotional release. It speaks to the hidden depths within individuals, reminding us that even the most formidable leaders often harbor passions and dreams that extend far beyond their public personas, enriching their lives and perhaps even informing their perspectives in subtle, profound ways. Before his ascent to the highest office, Harry S. Truman embarked on a rather unexpected entrepreneurial venture. He was a haberdasher, selling men's hats and clothing in a store in Kansas City. This experience, far removed from the halls of power, provided him with invaluable insights into the lives of everyday Americans, teaching him about customer service, small business management, and the importance of connecting with people from all walks of life. Imagine him meticulously folding shirts, helping customers select the perfect tie, or offering advice on the latest styles, engaging in the daily rhythm of commerce and community. This hands-on experience in a retail setting, a world of practical details and personal interactions, shaped his understanding of the economy and the needs of ordinary citizens, grounding him in a way that few presidents have been. It was a formative period that instilled in him a deep respect for hard work and a pragmatic approach to problem solving, qualities that would later serve him well when faced with the immense responsibilities of the presidency. His love for the piano, a passion cultivated in his youth, occasionally resurfaced during his time in the White House, offering moments of unexpected charm and delight. Harry S. Truman once famously played the piano for the legendary actress Lauren Bacall at the National Press Club, a delightful and memorable encounter that captured the public's imagination. Imagine the scene: the president, known for his serious demeanor, seated at the piano, his fingers moving with practiced grace, serenading one of Hollywood's most glamorous stars. This impromptu performance, a rare glimpse into his artistic side, showcased a president who was not afraid to step outside the confines of his official role, to share a moment of personal joy and cultural connection. It was a charming reminder that even the most powerful leaders are human, with their own talents and passions, capable of bringing unexpected beauty and warmth to the often stiff formality of presidential life, creating a truly unforgettable memory for all who witnessed it. And in a detail that further highlights his unique journey to the presidency, Harry S. Truman holds the distinction of being the only president in the 20th century who did not attend college. In an era where higher education was increasingly becoming a prerequisite for political advancement, Truman's path was different. Forged through hard work, military service, and practical experience. This lack of a formal college degree did not diminish his intellect or his capacity for leadership. Instead, it underscored his self-taught wisdom, his reliance on common sense, and his deep understanding of the struggles and aspirations of the average American. His life story is a powerful testament to the idea that true leadership can emerge from diverse backgrounds, that intelligence and capability are not solely confined to academic institutions, but can be honed through the crucible of real-world experiences, making him a truly unique and inspiring figure in American history. As the mid-20th century unfolded, marked by the echoes of war and the promise of a new era, Dwight D. Eisenhower, a towering figure of military leadership, transitioned from general to president, bringing with him a steady hand and a surprising artistic sensibility that offered a quiet counterpoint to his formidable public persona. Eisenhower, a man known for his strategic mind and his ability to unite diverse factions, also found solace and expression in the gentle strokes of a paintbrush. Dwight D. Eisenhower was, in fact, a skilled amateur painter, a talent he cultivated later in life, finding in art a peaceful escape from the immense pressures of his public roles. He created over 250 works, a testament to his dedication and his genuine passion for the craft. Imagine him in the quiet hours, perhaps after a long day of national and international responsibilities, standing before an easel, brush in hand, meticulously applying colors to canvas. His paintings often depicted landscapes, portraits, and still lifes, rendered with a thoughtful precision that reflected his disciplined nature. This artistic pursuit was more than just a hobby. It was a form of meditation, a way to channel his focus and find tranquility amidst the storm of his duties. It revealed a softer, more contemplative side of the formidable general and president, reminding us that even the most powerful individuals seek moments of creative expression and quiet beauty, finding in art a profound sense of peace and personal fulfillment. His talent as an amateur painter was not merely a fleeting interest. It was a sustained passion that yielded a substantial body of work. Dwight D. Eisenhower completed over 250 oil paintings during his lifetime, a remarkable achievement for someone whose primary career was in military command and political leadership. These paintings, often characterized by their serene landscapes and thoughtful portraits, provided him with a creative outlet and a way to observe the world with a different kind of intensity. Imagine the focus required, the patience in blending colors, the careful attention to light and shadow. All skills that in a different context might be applied to strategic planning or diplomatic negotiation. His dedication to painting showcased a man of diverse talents, someone who could command armies and nations, yet also find profound satisfaction in the quiet, solitary act of creation, leaving behind a legacy not just of statesmanship, but also of unexpected artistic expression. And in a lighter, yet equally characteristic detail that speaks to his love for simple pleasures and his personal habits, Dwight D. Eisenhower had a putting green installed on the White House lawn. A passionate golfer, he understood the value of a brief escape, a moment of focused concentration and gentle competition. Imagine the president stepping out onto the verdant lawn, perhaps in the late afternoon sun, taking a few practice putts, the gentle click of the ball, the soft roll towards the hole. This putting green was more than just a recreational amenity. It was a symbol of his desire to maintain a sense of normalcy and personal well-being amidst the extraordinary demands of his office. It offered him a quick, accessible way to clear his mind, to engage in a familiar and comforting activity, and perhaps even to strategize in a less formal setting. This small personal touch on the iconic White House grounds offers a charming glimpse into the daily life of a president who, despite his immense responsibilities, understood the importance of finding moments of quiet enjoyment and personal restoration. From the quiet hobbies of artists to the daring pranks of adventurers, our next set of leaders brought a new level of personality and surprise to the highest office, reminding us that the human spirit, in all its complexity and charm, continues to animate the grand narrative of history, inviting us to explore further into the fascinating lives that shaped our world. And as we prepare to journey into these new stories, let your breath deepen, your body relax, and your mind gently drift, carried by the soft current of these tales towards a peaceful and restorative sleep. As the final echoes of these remarkable lives settle, let the unique stories of these leaders gently guide you to a peaceful and restful sleep, allowing your mind to wander through the quiet corridors of history, finding solace in the unexpected details that paint a fuller picture of those who once stood at the helm. We drift now into a more recent past, exploring the fascinating facets of presidents who shaped the modern world, revealing the human touches that often lie hidden beneath the weight of their momentous responsibilities. Each anecdote a soft whisper, carrying you further into the tranquil depths of slumber. Consider, for a moment, the image of John F. Kennedy, not as a towering figure of state, but as a young man, a lover of the sea, his spirit finding true freedom upon the open water. He cherished his famous sailboat, a vessel he affectionately named Victoria, a name that itself evokes victory and the enduring spirit of life, a quiet testament to his personal resilience and his deep connection to the ocean's vast, calming expanse. Imagine the gentle rocking of that boat, the rhythmic lapping of waves against the hull, the salty tang of the air filling his lungs as he navigated the currents, a profound sense of peace enveloping him far from the clamor and demands of the world, a precious solitude that surely recharged his formidable intellect and spirit. This love for sailing was not merely a pastime. It was a profound communion with nature, a way to find clarity and perspective amidst the swirling complexities of his public life. The endless horizon mirroring the boundless possibilities he envisioned for a nation. Beyond the ocean's embrace, John F. Kennedy possessed an intellectual curiosity that was both broad and deep, a thirst for knowledge that manifested in many ways, including his remarkable literary achievement. He holds the unique distinction of being the only president to have ever won a Pulitzer Prize, an honor bestowed upon him for his insightful and compelling book, Profiles in Courage. Picture him, perhaps late into the night, poring over historical texts, meticulously crafting narratives of individuals who stood firm in their convictions, even in the face of immense pressure. His own pen weaving a tapestry of bravery and moral fortitude, a quiet act of creation that speaks volumes about his inner world and his admiration for principled action. This literary triumph reveals a contemplative side, a man who not only led, but also reflected deeply upon the very essence of leadership and the moral courage it demands, a profound legacy etched not only in policy, but also in prose. His intellectual prowess extended to his reading habits, for John F. Kennedy was known for his astonishing speed-reading abilities, a skill that allowed him to devour vast amounts of information with remarkable efficiency. Envision him, perhaps in the Oval Office, or even during a brief respite, his eyes scanning lines of text with an almost superhuman swiftness, absorbing complex reports and weighty tomes at an incredible pace, his mind a finely tuned instrument, processing knowledge with unparalleled speed. It was said that he could reportedly read an astounding 1,200 words per minute, a testament to his sharp focus and his insatiable desire to understand, to learn, to be fully informed, allowing him to grasp the nuances of policy and history with an uncommon depth. A truly remarkable intellectual feat that surely contributed to his sharp wit and comprehensive understanding of the world, and in a detail that connects him to the very fabric of American youth and aspiration. John F. Kennedy was the first president to have been a Boy Scout, a simple fact that paints a picture of a young boy learning the values of preparedness, self-reliance, and community service, skills and principles that would undoubtedly shape his character and his approach to leadership. Imagine him in his uniform, perhaps earning merit badges, learning to tie knots, or navigating by compass. The foundational experiences of teamwork and responsibility instilled early in his life, a quiet beginning that foreshadowed a life of profound service and dedication to his country. A gentle reminder that even the most powerful leaders often start with humble, formative experiences. Moving forward in time, we encounter Lyndon B. Johnson, a president whose personality was as expansive and complex as the legislative achievements he championed. A man known for his larger-than-life demeanor and his often unconventional approach to human interaction. He owned a truly classic convertible amphibious car, a vehicle that was not merely a mode of transport, but a source of endless amusement and surprise. A whimsical indulgence that revealed a playful, mischievous side to his formidable public persona. He loved to surprise guests with this extraordinary automobile, transforming a seemingly ordinary drive into an unforgettable and often startling adventure, a unique blend of power and playfulness. Indeed, Lyndon B. Johnson often used his amphibious car, affectionately known as the Amphicar, to orchestrate elaborate pranks, turning a simple tour of his ranch into a memorable, heart-stopping moment for unsuspecting visitors. Imagine the scene, driving along a scenic route, perhaps engaging in serious conversation. Then, without warning, veering directly towards a lake, the engine rumbling, the tires splashing, as he would pretend its brakes had failed. The look of sheer panic on his guests' faces, followed by their dawning realization that they were not sinking, but rather floating, must have brought him immense satisfaction, a moment of shared laughter and genuine surprise, a testament to his unique sense of humor and his desire to inject a little unexpected joy, or perhaps a touch of playful terror, into the lives of those around him. This particular vehicle, sometimes referred to as the Gator, became legendary for these aquatic escapades, a symbol of his unconventional spirit and his delight in catching people off guard, a truly memorable presidential quirk. And in another testament to his unconventional style, Lyndon B. Johnson was known for conducting meetings in the most informal and unexpected of settings, often while sitting on the toilet, a practice that, while perhaps deeply unsettling for his staff, underscored his unfiltered and direct approach to governance. Picture the scene, if you will, the discomfort of aides attempting to maintain decorum and professionalism while discussing matters of state in such an intimate and personal space, a stark contrast to the formal trappings of the presidency. This brazen disregard for conventional etiquette reveals a man who was utterly himself, unconcerned with appearances when it came to getting things done, a powerful, albeit peculiar, demonstration of his dominance and his desire to break down barriers, even if those barriers were merely the unspoken rules of professional conduct. Our journey through presidential quirks continues with Richard Nixon, a figure often remembered for his complex political legacy, yet who possessed a surprising array of hidden talents and personal interests. He was, for instance, an accomplished poker player, a skill that speaks to a sharp, strategic mind, capable of reading people and calculating odds with precision, qualities that undoubtedly served him well in the high-stakes world of politics. This was not merely a casual pastime. His prowess at the card table was so significant that he actually used his winnings to help fund his first congressional campaign, a remarkable and resourceful way to launch a political career, demonstrating an early aptitude for strategic thinking and financial acumen, a true testament to his determination. Beyond the poker table, Richard Nixon cultivated a unique domestic environment, including a private bowling alley installed right in the White House basement, a space dedicated to recreation and perhaps a rare moment of release from the immense pressures of his office. Imagine the quiet thud of pins, the gentle rumble of the ball, the occasional cheer or sigh echoing through the historic walls, a private sanctuary where he could unwind and engage in a simple physical activity, a stark contrast to the weighty decisions made just floors above. This personal touch reveals a desire for normalcy, a need for a space where he could simply be a man enjoying a game, far from the watchful eyes of the world, a quiet corner of respite in a life of constant scrutiny. And in a truly surprising revelation, Richard Nixon was not only an accomplished poker player, but also a talented musician, capable of playing several instruments with skill and passion. He was an accomplished pianist, his fingers perhaps dancing across the keys in moments of quiet contemplation, finding solace in the melodies he created. But his musical talents extended even further, encompassing the accordion, the clarinet, and the violin, a truly diverse range of instruments that speaks to a deep musicality and a surprising artistic sensibility, a hidden depth to a man often perceived as purely political. Imagine the quiet strains of a classical piece, or perhaps a lively folk tune emanating from his private quarters, a personal expression that offers a glimpse into the richer, more nuanced tapestry of his inner life. Moving into a different era, we encountered Gerald Ford, a president whose path to the highest office was unique, and whose early life held some truly unexpected turns. Before his political career took flight, Gerald Ford worked as a park ranger at the majestic Yellowstone National Park, an experience that must have deeply connected him to the natural beauty and grandeur of the American landscape. Picture him in his ranger uniform, guiding visitors through breathtaking vistas, perhaps explaining the wonders of geysers and wildlife, breathing in the crisp mountain air. A grounding experience that surely instilled in him a deep appreciation for conservation and the vastness of the American spirit. A gentle beginning that speaks to a love for the land and a commitment to public service in its purest form. Even more surprisingly, Gerald Ford, in his youth, embarked upon a brief career as a fashion model, gracing the pages of prominent publications such as Look magazine, and even appearing on the cover of Cosmopolitan. Imagine the striking poses, the carefully chosen attire, the confident gaze captured by the camera, a youthful foray into the world of style and imagery, a stark contrast to the gravitas of presidential duties. He undertook this endeavor to help pay for college, a testament to his resourcefulness and determination, revealing a young man willing to embrace unconventional opportunities to pursue his education. A charming and unexpected chapter in the life of a future president, reminding us that every journey is paved with diverse experiences. Our narrative continues with Jimmy Carter, a president whose life before the White House was marked by a unique blend of practical agricultural experience and highly specialized scientific training. He was, famously, a peanut farmer, a profession that grounds him deeply in the earth and the rhythms of nature, a hands-on connection to the land that speaks volumes about his character and his work ethic. Imagine the rich soil beneath his boots, the warm sun on his back, the quiet satisfaction of nurturing crops from seed to harvest. A foundational experience that instilled in him a profound respect for hard work, self-sufficiency, and the simple, honest labor that feeds a nation. But Jimmy Carter was not only a farmer, he was also a nuclear physicist and a nuclear submarine officer, a truly remarkable combination of skills and knowledge that speaks to an extraordinary intellect and a disciplined mind. Picture him in the confines of a submarine, navigating the silent depths of the ocean, mastering complex nuclear technology, a testament to his precision, his analytical abilities, and his unwavering commitment to national service. This dual background, encompassing both the agrarian simplicity of farming and the intricate complexities of advanced science, paints a portrait of a man of profound depth and diverse capabilities, a truly unique preparation for the immense challenges of the presidency. He also holds the distinction of being the first president born in a hospital, a seemingly small detail that marks a subtle shift in the broader historical narrative of American births and healthcare, a quiet sign of the changing times. The spotlight now shifts to Ronald Reagan, a president whose charismatic presence and communication skills were honed long before he entered the political arena. He was, of course, a Hollywood actor, starring in over 50 films, a career that immersed him in the world of storytelling, performance, and public engagement. Imagine him on a movie set, delivering lines, embodying characters, learning the art of captivating an audience, skills that would later translate seamlessly into his role as the great communicator, enchanting the nation with his warmth and optimism. This extensive acting career provided him with an unparalleled understanding of public perception and the power of narrative. shaping his ability to connect with people on a deeply personal level. Ronald Reagan also holds the unique distinction of being the only president to have served as a union president, leading the Screen Actors Guild, an experience that gave him first-hand insight into labor relations, negotiations, and the collective power of organized workers. Picture him advocating for actors' rights, mediating disputes, and navigating the complex dynamics of Hollywood's labor landscape. An invaluable education in leadership and consensus building that broadened his perspective and prepared him for the intricate world of national politics. This blend of acting and union leadership forged a leader with both a compelling public presence and a practical understanding of organizational dynamics, a truly distinctive background for a future commander-in-chief. Our journey continues with George H.W. Bush, a man whose life was marked by an enduring spirit of adventure and a profound sense of duty. He harbored a lifelong love for skydiving, an exhilarating pursuit that he embraced even into his later years, celebrating his 75th, 80th, and even his 90th birthdays with daring jumps from an airplane. Imagine him soaring through the vast expanse of the sky, the wind rushing past, the earth spread out beneath him like a magnificent tapestry, a profound sense of freedom and exhilaration filling his spirit, a testament to his courage, his zest for life, and his unwavering belief in embracing every moment. This passion for skydiving speaks volumes about a man who continually sought new challenges and who refused to let age diminish his adventurous spirit, a truly inspiring example of living life to the fullest. Before his political career, George H.W. Bush served with immense bravery as a decorated naval aviator during World War II, a period of profound sacrifice and heroism. He was the youngest Navy pilot when he received his wings in 1943, a remarkable achievement for such a young man, demonstrating an early aptitude for precision and courage. His service was not without peril. He was shot down over the Pacific, a harrowing experience that he miraculously survived, a testament to his resilience and sheer determination. Picture the terrifying moments of his plane falling, the icy embrace of the ocean, the desperate struggle for survival, an experience that undoubtedly shaped his character and instilled in him an even deeper appreciation for life and the sacrifices made for freedom, a quiet strength that underpinned his entire public life. Next, we turn our attention to Bill Clinton, a president whose charm and intellectual prowess were often complemented by a surprising artistic talent. He is a truly talented saxophone player, an instrument that allows for soulful expression and improvised melodies, revealing a creative and passionate side to his personality. He once even considered a career in music, a path that would have taken him down a very different, yet equally expressive, road. Imagine him, perhaps in his youth, lost in the melody, his fingers moving deftly across the keys, the rich, resonant sound of the saxophone filling the air, a moment of pure artistic immersion. This musical talent was not confined to private practice. Bill Clinton famously performed on the Arsenio Hall show during his presidential campaign, a memorable moment that showcased his approachable nature and his ability to connect with a diverse audience through the universal language of music. He also performed at his own inaugural ball, a joyous celebration where his saxophone added a personal and vibrant touch to the festivities, demonstrating his willingness to share his passions with the world. A truly engaging and charismatic leader who could move seamlessly between policy and performance, captivating hearts and minds with equal ease. Our journey continues with George W. Bush, a president whose public image often belied a surprising array of personal interests and past experiences. He possesses a deep love for painting, a creative outlet that allows him to express his inner world through color and form. He has painted numerous portraits, including those of world leaders and veterans, capturing their essence with a thoughtful and personal touch. Imagine him in his studio, brush in hand, carefully mixing pigments, his gaze fixed on the canvas, transforming blank space into vibrant images. A quiet act of creation that reveals a contemplative and artistic spirit. A profound way to process and reflect upon the lives and stories of those he depicts. Before his political ascent, George W. Bush was a co-owner of the Texas Rangers baseball team, a role that connected him deeply to the American pastime and the thrill of competition. Picture him in the dugout, cheering on his team, strategizing with management, immersed in the electrifying atmosphere of a baseball game. A passionate engagement with sports that speaks to his competitive spirit and his love for community. And in a charming detail from his college years, he was a cheerleader at Yale University, a role that highlights his energetic personality, his ability to rally support, and his natural enthusiasm. A spirited beginning that foreshadowed a life of public leadership and spirited advocacy. As we near the present, we encounter Barack Obama, a president known for his calm demeanor and intellectual curiosity, who also harbored a delightful and unexpected childhood passion. He collected Spider-Man and Conan the Barbarian comic books as a child, a detail that offers a charming glimpse into his formative years and his early engagement with tales of heroism, justice, and adventure. Imagine young Barack engrossed in the vibrant pages, following the exploits of web-slinging heroes and powerful warriors. His imagination ignited by these fantastical narratives, perhaps dreaming of his own heroic endeavors. A quiet connection to the universal stories of good versus evil that shaped so many childhoods. This simple hobby reveals a relatable, imaginative side to a man who would later lead a nation, reminding us that even presidents once found joy in the colorful worlds of comic books. Our exploration moves to Donald Trump, a president whose path to the White House was undeniably unique, marked by a prominent career in business and entertainment. Before his presidency, he hosted a wildly popular reality television show, The Apprentice, a program that showcased his business acumen and his distinctive personality to a vast audience. Imagine the boardroom, the tension, the famous phrase, "You're fired," echoing through millions of homes. A powerful platform that established him as a household name and a formidable media presence, shaping public perception long before he entered the political fray. Donald Trump was a real estate developer and television personality, a dual career that established his brand and his public persona, making him one of the most recognizable figures in America. He holds the distinction of being the only president to have never held prior political or military office, a truly unprecedented journey to the highest seat of power, highlighting a remarkable shift in the traditional pathways to the presidency. And in a lighthearted detail that connects him to popular culture, he made a memorable cameo appearance in the beloved movie Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, a brief but iconic moment that further cemented his presence in the public consciousness, a testament to his pervasive influence across various spheres of American life. Finally, we arrive at Joe Biden, our current president, whose life is marked by a deep sense of family and a connection to enduring traditions. He cherishes his classic 1967 Corvette Stingray, a beautiful and powerful car that holds immense sentimental value, as it was a cherished gift from his father. Imagine him behind the wheel, the wind in his hair, the roar of the engine, driving along a quiet road, a moment of pure enjoyment and a tangible link to his past, a symbol of family, legacy, and the simple pleasures that ground a man, even one burdened with immense responsibility. This car is not just a vehicle, it is a repository of memories, a connection to his roots, a quiet source of joy. And in a testament to his long and distinguished career in public service, Joe Biden is the oldest person to assume the U.S. presidency, a remarkable achievement that speaks to his enduring dedication, his vast experience, and his profound commitment to the nation. This milestone underscores a lifetime of learning, leading, and serving, bringing a wealth of wisdom and perspective to the highest office. A quiet culmination of decades spent in the public eye, a testament to resilience and unwavering purpose. As these final stories gently unfold, feel the soft embrace of calm settling over you, like a warm, comforting blanket. Let the images of sailboats gliding on tranquil waters, of quiet moments of reading and reflection, of laughter echoing from an amphibious car, and the focused intensity of a painter at their easel, all merge into a soothing tapestry within your mind. The unique journeys of these individuals, with their unexpected talents and surprising passions, remind us that every life is rich with hidden depths, with moments of both profound seriousness and delightful playfulness. Allow your breath to deepen, each inhale drawing in a sense of peaceful stillness, each exhale releasing any lingering thoughts or tensions, letting them drift away like clouds on a summer breeze. Imagine yourself now, gently floating, much like a sailboat on a calm sea, or perhaps soaring effortlessly through the vast open sky, a feeling of absolute weightlessness enveloping your entire being. The quiet hum of the world outside begins to fade, replaced by the soft, rhythmic cadence of your own breathing, a lullaby that guides you deeper and deeper into a state of profound relaxation. Feel the gentle warmth spreading through your limbs, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, a comforting sensation that invites every muscle to soften, to release, to simply be. Your eyelids feel heavy, a pleasant heaviness that welcomes the approaching darkness, the sweet promise of undisturbed rest. You are safe, you are secure, and you are completely at peace. The stories have played their part, the journey through history has concluded, and now all that remains is the quiet invitation of sleep. Drift now, effortlessly, into the deepest, most restorative slumber, carried by the gentle current of these peaceful thoughts, until morning light softly awakens you